I remember as a kid watching a lot of films. I remember actually my very first cinema experience. I was 7 years old when a friend of mine invited me to go and see a film. And we watched Ariel. Do you remember Ariel? Like the cartoon,
Oh
the
yeah,
Disney
yeah.
film
The
Ariel.
mommy wants
We,
a fish.
yes,
Fish.
exactly. And that I really have such fond memories of that whole experience. It was a very sensory experience for me, like just being in that seat, like, like watching this film on the big screen, the adverts in between where people could come in and sell popcorn and ice cream and whatnot. And it was a very vivid experience. So I'd say from that moment onwards, I remember really being into film. But yes, I watched a lot of films, but I never really saw it at all as a potential for me to work in. I never really considered it, to be honest. I mean, I come from a, you know, Ghanaian household, working class family, For my parents was always like, oh, you should study and then you should become a lawyer or a doctor or whatever, like solid profession. So it was never, I never considered being, working in the arts and film, at all. So that was, the beginning, I would say.
Oh,
And then fast forward to 2005 when I studied at SOAS, the School of Oriental and African Studies. I studied politics and African studies, and that was really, a period of my life. It really opened me up to so much, First of all, moving from Germany, I grew up in Germany to London. I come from a very small town. I grew up in a small town with the only Black family, and now moving into this big city where I wasn't like a minority anymore, it really had an impact on me, and then studying at university like SOAS had an impact, I have to say. And then within African studies, I studied contemporary African literature, and then African cinema. There was a course called African cinema, and I started that course, and that course just sort of set the tone for me. It was the first time where I saw auteur-driven
oh.
African film. And I think prior to that, the only African film I knew was kind of like the Nollywood production or the Gollywood films that we would see, the video productions. So yeah, I would say that course really sparked my interest. And my professor, Dr. Lindiwe Dovey, had a role to play. She is the founder and director of the Cambridge African Film Festival, and she could see my interest and my passion. And she said, why don't you